So, okay, so welcome everybody. Jenny Lyon here. We've just managed to overcome some of the tech. There we go. There's better. And we're still trying to get over it. So I'm Jenny Lyon. I'm a light activator. I'm a mentor. I love helping people to align with their purpose. So yes, I am a healer. It's just maybe more flash word for being a healer. So welcome to this webinar. I'm very excited to have you here because I just love sharing the different methods and the tools that I'm using, and I'm so passionate about what I do. So obviously it's something that I just can't stop myself from doing. So this is why I'm doing this. So I'm going to ask just a couple of questions and see why or the reason that you turned up today, if that's okay, and just share a little bit about yourselves. Just like a couple of sentences is fine. You don't need to go into any depth if you don't want to. So let's start. I'm going to start this way. So Andra, I'm going to start with you. So I unmute one at a time. So Andra, welcome to this energy clearing webinar. Tell me where you're from and what led you to come on this session today.
My name is Sandra Bianca. I'm 31 years old. I'm from Romania. I'm living in Bucharest, and I'm a leadership coach and executive coach. And this is the reason that I always improve myself. I like to grow myself. And because of this, I can share to the others better things, and I can improve the others also. So the reason that I'm here is to improve myself, to grow myself, to spread.
You've landed in the right place. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, Taylor. Taylor.
Hi.
Tell me why you're here.
I'm Taylor. I'm 22 in California. And there's just so much always to be cleared and healed. So I'm just here because, there's so much to work on.
Thank you, Taylor. Now let's do Jenny. Jenny.
Hello.
Hi. Hello, darling. Tell me why you're here. Where are you from and why you're here?
I am from Sweden and work as a healer and coach. So I'm here because I just felt like I really should go in. I saw that you had and I have been in a session with you and I just loved your energy. So I just really wanted to come.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Jenny. Who wants to go? See if Birna, how are you doing, Birna, with the unlocking of the microphone? Maybe not yet. Victoria, would you like to share just briefly? I know that you're moving around, but do you want to just share briefly why you're here?
Sure. So I'm Victoria Medina. I am a stay-at-home mother. I love it. I also sell hemp, but I do that from home. It's an MLM. And I have been really, really successful with it thus far. It was something that I found and started for my own healing and health. I was in labor for 75 hours. I have a 5-year-old son, but after my labor, I developed fibromyalgia and come to find out that that's very much trauma driven. So I am using hemp extracts to help alleviate pains and things of that sort, but there is obviously some energy work that needs to. I'm also from a long line of healers, from curanderas, from Mexican tradition.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, I'm having a hard time and I'm really struggling with my own fibromyalgia, and I am looking for further healing. So that's why I'm here.
Thank you so much for arriving here. Lovely. So I'm going to mute you now. Great. I'm not sure, Birna, could you share with us in the chat? Okay. She can't figure out the microphone. I'm going to read this out for people who's watching the replay. So she's from Iceland, but she lives in southern Spain. She doesn't know exactly why she's here, but it popped up and she decided she's going to come in here. And actually it's really true. It cannot be any harm done because we're working with unconditional divine love. So it's like, that's actually, you're spot on there. So she's a hairdresser and herbal life coach. Okay, great. Love the spiritual work. Okay, brilliant. So Bina, if you can work it out as we go, that'd be really great. Otherwise we'll just have to do it this way as we're sharing. So what I'm going to do is, this session is recorded and I do share it on my website. I do share it on YouTube. So I know you've introduced yourselves and said your names, but I'm hoping that you will be able to share to a level that feels safe for you, and that is also going to be a benefit of other people watching the replay that couldn't be here and maybe didn't have time or didn't fit their schedule today. If anyone wants to like stop the camera and not, carry on in this way, that's fine. I've had these conversations with somebody before, but I believe that because I set up a safe space, it's always going to be protected. So I want everyone to feel comfortable. I hope you do. Okay. Apart from that, I'm not sharing it anywhere really, apart from with the replays for the people and my YouTube channel. So people who wants to really follow me comes there. Okay. Any objections? Hopefully not. Okay, great. So I'm going to do a little slide first where we're talking about the actual, the self-belief really, because this is what I named the webinar today, and where it comes from and how we can overcome it, etc. So I'm going to share a few slides with you first, and then after that we are going to do a little bit of a clearing and a process together, and then after that we will like wrap up, and then we're finished. Okay, so that's what's going to happen. I'm going to lock this webinar now as well, because last time I learned somebody came in the middle and it was like not right. So I'm just going to find out now how I lock this. I worked it out last time. This is where the tech comes in. Let's see if I can lock this webinar. Okay. If not, I'll have to just. Oh, it is locked. Okay, good. Okay, great. It is locked. Okay, maybe I set the setting before actually. Learn new things all the time. Okay, so I'm just going to share the slides, and we're going to have a little teaching now first. That's there. Okay, so then maybe move these here. There we go. That's fine. Okay, so turn lack of self-worth into confidence and wealth. Why do I say this? Why does it have to be confidence and wealth? Well, I suppose the lack of self-worth comes from not feeling good about oneself enough, and that makes you feel not so confident, because it just makes you feel like you kind of don't want to show up, and it makes you feel like you don't want to really fully go out there. Also clearing our energy blocks. It's not about abundance with money specifically. It's more about clearing ourselves in a way so that we always feel full and abundant within. And when that happens, we can create abundance and wealth on the outside also. The practical and the physical life outside of ourselves is just a reflection of our inner empire. So this is why I've named it in this way, because that's actually what is possible. So I've already actually introduced myself, but I am Jenny Lyon. I am a light activator, and mentor, and purpose visionary. I suppose the light thing comes in because I do light activations, and I'm really passionate about doing those. I've been in this space for about 20 plus years now, and I use also a tool called the soul contract readings, which is really helpful for defining someone's purpose and help them really come into their mission. So hence the title. It's not that it's about me, but that's why it's there, so to speak. And actually, ever since I was a little girl, I remember having that spark of light inside my heart, as if I could connect with my soul. I remember being like maybe 4 or 5, and when things were kind of challenging or bad, or something felt like, I don't know, it even felt, you know, a little bit, well, quite kind of stressful, I suppose, and challenging. I remember tapping into this space. And at the time, I don't know what I would have called it. You know, there was something that I just remember doing as a child, and I've done it ever since. I suppose that's the best way to explain it. I was connecting to my soul energy, or the hope and the light that I knew that was available or felt was available. And I'm actually here to remind you and teach you that you can all do that you can connect with your power and your light, and you can lock it in. It's available to all humans, you know, alive. You know, this is not, you know, something special for me. Let me just move these things a little bit there. I don't know where I want them. There, I think that's better. So yeah, and the problems that you're facing is not your fault, because what's happening is it's patterns that every individual are playing out, that you've either been taught because the person teaching you didn't know better, or they were traumatized themselves. It's something that you've absorbed along the way, or it's a belief that you've chosen to believe, because you've just chosen to believe it because somebody else told you, or something else. So it's almost like your life is a reflection of this, and it's never your fault in the sense that, you know, you've not done anything wrong, but it can be changed by shedding light on it, if that makes sense. So the reason I'm doing this webinar today is about the self-belief. And what I found is a lot with women when I speak to them, especially women, because I work mostly with women, is that it's stopping them to show up. And as a consequence of not showing up, you're not delivering to the level that you know that you're capable of. And it can show up, you know, in work. It can show up in your personal life. It can show up in your, you know, even in your studying, or, you know, your you know, your path of, you know, changing your life, whatever, you know, especially then actually, maybe even with parenting, you know, parenting your children, etc. So it can show up in so many ways. It can show up in your business, obviously, as well. But you probably feel, or some of them people watching today here, you may be wanting to create a life and a business that is actually alignment within the desire to become financially and emotionally free. And why do I say financially and emotionally? Because obviously emotionally, you know, comes first in a way, because if we don't feel good about ourselves, we can't really create, you know, a desired outcome. But also financially, because if you come here to do something very great and very special, the best way to great impact is to become in a very good financial position yourself, so that you can then create more impact for other people. But if you're worrying about your own living and your own sort of existence a lot, or kind of too much energy focused on that, then it's very hard to grow that business in a sense and feel that you are capable to help more people. So the money is a mean of having greater impact and having a great life for yourself and your family, of course. So you may have made some strides to move forward in life, and have, you know, you've made progress, but it still feels like it's uphill sometimes. And it might come in waves. So it comes in waves, and you think, oh my goodness, I think I've already been here. But it's coming in a different shape or form, and you're thinking, why is this happening, right? So if this is you, you've come to the right place. Or at least if one of these statements are true, then you come to the right place. So experiences in a person's life are a major source of how self-esteem or self-belief, you know, develops. So if you're in this space already, you know that obviously childhood experiences and trauma is playing part in how we perceive ourselves and how we actually go about our life. What kind of parenting we had if it was supportive or nurturing parenting, or if it was absent parenting, or if it was traumatic for you in any way, or painful. The relationship, you know, directly to your mother, the relationship directly to your father, or not, you know, depending on your background. So this is majorly what creates our reality today. And as you grow up, you know, get older, it's also positioning the teachers and the education system and how we get recognized, and how we do when we're in the educational system up until we finish. Also belonging and protection and acceptance with peers. So obviously, if a child has got very little parental boundaries and parental holding and parental security, they will then go to their peers as they get older, and they'll hang out in gangs. And, you know, this is why we see gangs and things like that in, you know, broken neighborhoods, etc., because they have nowhere else to find protection and belonging. So positioning, recognition, and rewards within the workplace. So if you're in a workplace, obviously, if you feel like you're struggling to get to a certain level, or even get the recognition, etc., it can, over years and over time, really affect our self-esteem. Also dynamics in a love relationship. So, you know, if you have a relationship where somebody is very loving and lift you up, it's going to make you feel better. Not that we can't really fulfill our happiness from what other people believe. However, it's going to affect us how we get treated. So if you get treated not so good in a relationship, then that is also going to then affect your self-esteem, or add to the, you know, the places where you don't feel good enough, perhaps. So with that in mind, you may have tried journaling, meditation, mindset, sorry, that's my Siri, coaching, other means of, you know, breaking these patterns. And you may even feel like you haven't got time to do all this all the time, and it might be time consuming, etc., etc. You may have even tried other tools that are very well known, things like kinesiology or EFT, hypnotherapy, NLP, Reiki, healing, and other mainstream tools, so you can help shift these self-doubts and unhelpful, or counseling, you know, traditional medicine as well. Shift your self-doubts and unhelpful patterns. Now, what I've discovered is the reasons that these tools, not always, I'm not saying they're not helpful, because they are, but the reasons these tools may have not cut to the depth of the root cause can be one of these or all of these. Most tools, unless they are multidimensional, they are linear. That means they work in this space, in this lifetime, in this moment, or up back into the childhood, basically, which is obviously helpful. But if they don't work beyond that, which means future life, past lives, other realities, etc., before, like when you're an embryo as well in your mother's womb, then they're not complete, because they're not clearing everywhere. They may not accept, or most of these tools, the traditional ones, they don't access the time frame where the issue was created. Now, obviously, in this lifetime, yes. So they would have said, oh yeah, your child did this lifetime. Again, I'm talking about past life, future life. I'm talking about other realities, parallel, other places that is multidimensional, right? So then you're not going to the point where it was created, and it may even be created from the beginning of time. So if the program was created before the world was formed, then the program won't be cleared unless we go there and pick it up there, right? The other reason that I have not released the block in the subconscious mind fully. So what I've discovered is that when people sometimes have hypnotherapy and they haven't really maybe believed in it, or maybe they didn't connect with the hypnotherapist or the whatever therapist they're having, it may not work, because it may not go deep enough into the subconscious mind to fix it, and then you have no results. Another reason is that a new reality may not have been created to replace the old one. I know with EFT, you create a new one as you tap out the belief, like you tap out the old belief and then you tap in the new one. But not every single mainstream, of these tools that are known do this. Potentially as well, they have not addressed the fact that you are powerful, that you decide what's going to happen in your life, because you have the power within you to create exactly the life you want. And anything else, and anyone else saying anything else than that, is nonsense. And unless you're really getting told this, it may be a feeling of, oh, well, what if, oh, I'm not in charge of this, or well, this story happened to me as, in my childhood, and I am, a victim of that. So which is like, yes, the story happened, but we can change it. You are powerful. I hope that makes sense. So I'm here to teach you to never settle. Okay? Think big, crush your limiting beliefs, and explore life's possibilities, because we come into this earthly life to do great things. And anything else than that, we want to live a really happy, abundant, beautiful life. And that's why I'm here to help you guys to do that. So the methods that I'm using, they're not exclusive just for me. There's other people in the world using it, but the ones I'm using are exceeding many other tools because they clear multidimensionally. So they clear in all time frames. And we're going to do that today when we do the clearing. So we're going to pick the time frame wherever, I'll show you later. And what happens is when it clears multidimensionally, it cannot return, because it's fully done. It's done. We remove the block from the origin as well. So if it was created in the womb at week 8 of your embryo time, then that's where we go and clear it. They are 5th dimensional transmission energy, the tools, which cuts through all the fear and the low frequency vibrations rapidly, because 5th dimensional vibration is unconditional love. And on the David Hawkins scale of consciousness, unconditional love is over 500. And that's the space we're in when we do this work. So therefore, fear can never come in. We can overcome it quickly. The tools are a mixed knowledge from different solar systems, dimensions, and galaxies. And whatever specialist is needed in this work will come online and help us. So that means, for example, let's say we're working with protection. I'm making it simple here. We're working with protection, or making ourselves really strong and, feeling fearless. We may ask Archangel Michael to be on, I always ask him to be on the team anyway, but he may be one of the divine beings that will help us overcome what we need to overcome. So whatever specialist is required, we will come and fix it for us. So we always have a specialist at hand, depending on what it is. The tools I'm using are also, they're based on pure unconditional divine love, and therefore it cannot harm any living things, because divine love is what we have, what connects us all, and what creates unity, and what creates ascension, and what creates healing, creates love for all of humanity and all sentient things. So we cannot be harmed. So we're all here to make a difference. We're here to be some sort of consequence. We all came here to do great things. in a unique and gifted way. We are spiritual beings having human experience, so not the other way around. And it's getting more and more obvious because more and more people are getting into realizing that there is something else to this earthly life that is beyond our, what we can see. And to step into mastery and our life's greatest work, we just need to change the patterns which has kept us in a way, in a small and limited way. And by doing that, we raise in frequency and we come into more of our fullest potential. And you may even feel that you have something very special to do. And if you're already doing your soul work, you might even be on this journey where you're refining it. And it feels good because you're doing something great already, but you may want to maybe go deeper with it or refine it further. And that's just a normal journey of developing, your gifts and your skills and your soul work. You might want to make it clearer. So I'm going to show you the simple steps that are available to you so you can start shifting the energy blocks and release them for good. So once a block is shifted and released, because energy can't be destroyed, but we release it into higher forms and it goes into, transforms into light basically, and we send it off into universal the universal matrix of light, if you like, and I may burp, so you have to excuse the noise. It's just what happens when I do these clearings. The reason for that is that when the energy shifts, it's just the shape of it changes, and it has to go so because I'm channeling it, I will then burp. Not every healer do this, but I was very unfortunate to be given this kind of thing. So that's what happens. Now, I'm not going to go into detail with this, but the 4 core programs patterns, which are blocking the self-belief and accessing the magic, I'm going to just cover, tell you what those are and what kind of tools are available to remove them, and that you made to believe that you maybe are limited in a way. You might not even think, oh, I am limited, but on a subconscious level, oh, you can't do this, or you're not clever enough to do that, or you're not powerful enough to do this, or blah, 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 whatever else, there's some sort of nonsense, in the subconscious. We all have this, but it's not true. So when these patterns are not changed and released, this is when we feel depressed or low in energy. We feel lost, and we may, like I said earlier, lacking confidence. We feel disempowered, frustrated, perhaps angry. People numb out in addictive patterns. Anything from drinking, drugs, food, sex, Netflix, to numb out, the feeling. Unworthiness, or feeling, having money problems, etc. Distrusting of life, feeling overwhelmed, getting ill. So illness is like the latest stage of manifestation of unresolved emotional stuff. And so, when the body is saying no more, it does mean that we've kind of pushed it too far. And ignoring some signals possibly for some time. Most of the time, this is what happens. Now, what situations we potentially open ourselves to if we don't address the programs, and I'm talking completely ignoring it. And it may be 1 or 2 of these, or it might be more of those that you feel familiar, is happening. But it's not about doing something wrong. It's about ignoring the signals, right? So we can create then unhappy relationships, getting unsuccessful in career or business, limited ways that we're parenting our children, and we're feeling, that we are limited in this way because we don't have the tools, etc., etc. Again, it's awareness that it just requires awareness with all these things. Addictions might be playing out. relationship with money might be coming up. And I'll tell you what's really interesting, that every time you do a shift and you go through a level of shifting of awareness, something hits the fan basically, and you have to clear up some mess, and then you go to your next level. And it's kind of just one of those things. So just be aware, address it, clear it, learn from it, and then go to the next level. Health problems, separation and loneliness, feeling stressed, etc. Feeling also stuck and unfulfilled in your dreams and desires, and unhappiness for what seems for no reason. So this is not a good space, right? We don't want to be here. We want to change it. So, but I'm just giving you some examples of what happens is when people ignore, and I'm sure you can relate, and I'm sure you have friends, I'm sure you have family, I'm sure you have people that you can see this also in your life, and we can see it in the world around us. So the 4 core programs, but this can be fixed, of course, with the different methods. The 4 core programs which holds us back in life is disempowerment. That's not feeling good about something or yourself, in the sense that also feeling that you can't do it. My big one was always, I'm not going to be a powerful, strong healer enough that people even is going to pay me. That was my big one. And that was going on, that was running for years. We're looking like 10, 15 years that program was running, even when I was doing healing and I was getting paid. So it's, we all have, stuff going on. Feeling distrustful, so basically worrying always about that it's going to work out. Is it really going to work out? Not letting go, sort of stressing over minor things because you're just feeling like you're out of control. And today we're talking about the low self-esteem in particular, self-worth and confidence issues. And again, that's the unworthiness, and perhaps that was, rooted in childhood, but it could also be something that is a karmic thing that we need to clear up. And the 4th one is abandonment, sort of feeling alone and separated. And for me personally as well, abandonment was one of the big things because I'm a divorcee child. So I was always abandoned, mum and dad always separated. I always felt I was petrified every time my dad was going to, drop me off at the daycare. And because then I wouldn't see him again for 2 weeks. So I actually remember this stress in my body. So, we all have had different scenarios playing out in our lives. Now, today we're going to clear some of this. So I hope that you're ready. So we're going to start that right now, and I'm going to stop sharing this thing. So I hope that all makes sense. Oh, somebody else has joined as well. So I didn't lock it then. I'm going to let her in as well. Okay, so we're right in the middle. I hope that makes sense, the slides. We're going to continue where we were. And hi, Janelle. I'm going to I don't know, I didn't stop it, did I? Let me unmute her. Hi. I'm going to ask her to start a video. Okay, so Janelle, welcome in. We're right to start at the moment. We're going to do the clearing. I don't know what time you came into the webinar, but we're going to start the actual clearing. Do you want to just tell us very briefly why you're here and what what motivated you to come online today with us?
Well, any opportunity to heal is something that I am willing to take. So joining a community or being around like-minded people it just makes sense to me. So I'm happy to be here with you, ladies.
Thank you. What do you do, Janelle?
I'm a lifestyle coach.
Oh, wonderful. Lovely. So did you hear the presentation or did you come just now? Because I didn't see.
I came maybe about 15 minutes ago, so I caught you in the middle of your presentation.
Ah, okay. I'm sure it made sense, right?
Yes.
Definitely. Yeah, okay, good. All right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to keep you all unmuted, muted, all of you. While I'm opening up the space, I'm going to let you listen to the personal grids. There's some spinning grids that I use in my practice and that I also give to my clients. And also the unified chakra. So that's going to take about sort of 8 to probably a bit more, 12 minutes in total. And then in that time, I'm also opening up the space and I'm clearing, you know, any other things that I need to clear so that we can get really strong, powerful shifts with the beliefs. So really, actually now, I want you to relax, close your eyes and listen to what I'm going to do. Just make yourself comfortable. That's it, really. So I'm going to start. Just got to let me know if you are hearing everything okay. So the first thing I'm going to let you listen to is the grids. And people that have worked with me before, they know that I use the personal grids and they use them. I send them this link. So I just want you to enjoy this. This is just to clear out the space. The second recording is the Unified Chakra Meditation, which is I want you just to go into and listen to it and just follow it and enjoy it. And that's it. And if you hear me burping in the background, I am sorry. I will try to really keep it down. So let's do this now. Everyone comfortable? Let's see. No questions before we start? Any questions? No questions before we start. Okay, great. Okay, excellent.
Hi, Jenny Lyon here. Welcome.
Gonna go a little bit forward there.
And in particular, using it through.
Sorry.
So just make yourself comfortable.
There we go.
Take a comfortable position. Take some deep breaths and enjoy the flow.
Can you hear it? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Raise Elohim, grid level 2, circle around. Zero, continued, grid level 3, circle around. Circle security, grid level 4, circle around. Raise Elohim, please spin your grids, spinning out astral entities, shame, guilt and mistrust, shock, trauma, stress, strayed electromagnetic frequencies, fear, disharmony, anger, adverse astrological influences, expectation, frustration, viruses, funguses, bacteria, worry and astral distortions, miscommunications, sadness, enemy pattern, scarcity, loneliness, and anything else that hasn't been mentioned in this or any other language and needs to leave the space at this time. Reverse spin, same stuff. Stop spin, thank you. Leaders and Michael, please infuse your grid with the energies of grace, purity, hope, faith, liberty, peace, harmony, mercy, rapture, love, and victory and healing. Love, intimacy, the unified chakra, clarity, full connection to spirit, tolerance, clear communication, health, abundance, following spirit without hesitation. Mastery and sovereignty, serenity, centeredness and living heaven, joy and wisdom, groundedness, stability, focus, surrender, and anything else that hasn't been mentioned in this or any other language, but which you know needs to be in the space this time. Seal the breathing. Zeal continuum. Please set your grid for harmonization and optimization of electrical, magnetic, and gravitational frequencies. Please ensure that your fields remain harmonized with all the electronic and mechanical devices in my space. And that I and the devices in the space remain harmonized in frequency with any electromagnetic surges, ley line activity, Schumann resonance, and any other electromagnetic gravitational events and conditions occurring in this area. Thank you. Circle security, please realign and reharmonize with upper dimensional grid works, clearing all parasites and distortions off the grids. Infuse frequencies for clearer communication with spirit. Seal the grid thinking. Hi, Jenny Lyon here. Welcome to the Unified Chakra Meditation. This meditation is designed to make all your fields become more coherent so that all your different energy bodies and your physical body become more unified. And it feels like you're moving in the same pace and in the same kind of motion as your spirit. And also acting like a bridge to your higher self. So get yourself into a really comfortable position. You can sit up, you can lay down, you can just enjoy this meditation. It's more about kind of embodying the words and the energy of it rather than visualizing. So it's all about embodying this process. So take a few deep breaths and make yourself comfortable before I start. I want you to use this every day throughout the program, and I would like you to, first thing in the morning or whenever is the right time for you, to use this meditation. Breathe in light through the center of the heart, opening the heart into a beautiful ball of light. Breathe in light through the center of the heart, allowing the light to expand, encompassing the throat chakra and the solar plexus chakra in one unified field of light, within, through, and around. Breathe in light through the center of the heart, allowing the light to expand, encompassing the brow chakra and the navel chakra in one unified field of light, within, through, and around the body. Breathe in light through the center of the heart, allowing the light to expand, encompassing the crown chakra and the base chakra in one unified field of light. within, through, and around the body. Breathe in light through the center of the heart, allowing the light to expand, encompassing the alpha chakra, 8 inches above the head, and the omega chakra, 8 inches below the spine, in one unified field of light. Within, through, and around the body. Allow the waves of Metatron to move between these 2 points. I am unity of light. Breathe in light through the center of the heart, allowing the light to expand, encompassing the 8th chakra above the head and the upper thighs, in one unified field of light. Within, through, and around the body. Allow the emotional body to merge with the physical things. I am a unity of light. Breathe in light through the center of the heart, allowing the light to expand, encompassing the 9th chakra above the head and the lower thighs, in one unified field of light. Within, through, and around the body. Allow the mental body to merge with the physical things. I am a unity. Breathe in light through the center of the heart, allowing the light to expand, encompassing the 10th chakra above the head and the knees, in one unified field of light. Within, through, and around the body. Allow the spiritual body to merge with the physical fields. I am a unity of light. Breathe in light through the center of the heart, allowing the light to expand, encompassing the 11th chakra in the higher dimensions and the upper cones, in one unified field of light. Within, through, and around the body. Allow the oversoul to merge with the unified field. I am a unity of light. Breathe in light through the center of the heart, allowing the light to expand, encompassing the 12th chakra in the higher dimensions and the lower cones, in one unified field of light. Within, through, and around the body. Allow the Christ oversoul to merge with the unified field. I am a unity of light. Breathe in light through the center of the heart, allowing the light to expand, encompassing the 13th chakra in the higher dimensions and the feet, in one unified field of light. Within, through, and around the body. Allow the I am oversoul to merge with the unified field. I am a unity. Breathing light through the center of the heart, allowing the light to expand, encompassing the 14th chakra in the high dimensions and way below the feet, in one unified field of light, within, through, and around the body. Allow the source's presence to merge throughout the unified field. I am a unity of light. Breathe in light through the center of the heart and ask that the highest level of the spirit radiate forth from the center of the heart, filling this unified field completely, and radiates forth throughout this thing. I am a unity of spirit.
Okay. So you're going to feel quite relaxed and heavy now, in a sense that is you're deep into fifth dimensional space, and I want you to stay there. So you can keep your eyes closed as I'm talking to you. And what I'd like you to do is just take a few deep breaths. And I invite you to open yourself up and invite the subconscious to open up and access one particular event or one particular scenario where you felt that there was a lack of self-belief, or you're not feeling good enough, you're not feeling that you're complete. So sometimes it doesn't make sense. It might be a situation as a child, it might be a situation at work, it might be a situation with your parents, it might be a situation, whatever it is, it doesn't really matter. I just want you to let it bubble up, and if you can't, if your mind is in the way, I want you to drop into your heart, and we're just going to wait now for a minute or two and just allow this one event that needs healing today to come to the surface. So I'm going to leave you for a minute or so just to let this come up. It doesn't have to make sense. So just allow whatever's coming up, come up. I just want you to address it in the sense that you just make a mind note of what it is. And if you have emotions coming up around it and feelings, allow that also to leave when we're doing the clearing. So if you're angry or sad, just allow the clearing to take away that as well. So just kind of, notice what's going on. What I want you to do now, I want you to pick one number between 1 and 24. The one that comes to your mind straight away. And for the ones who are listening to the replay, I want you to do the same. Just pick a number. It doesn't matter that it's a replay. It will work the same. Just going to wait for everyone to get their number. 1 till 24. Only one. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to clear the time frame. So whatever the number that you picked is where the program originates from. So I'm going to clear it. I just want you to be open and allowing the healing to happen. So higher self and healing team, please clear 100% the core issue, the original cause, the source of its power, any energy attached, and all of its effects through all layers, levels, and dimensions. Right to the point of creation. Please balance, clear, and align all energy fields to enable higher levels of truth and consciousness. Very good. Okay. So now I just want you to connect to that event, and if there was people involved in it, just kind of acknowledge what happened and set the intention to heal this event. And if there's other people involved, I want you still to focus on you, because you're not responsible for anyone else's actions or their healing. So I want you to focus on yourself. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a trauma release code. So if you connect to your body and locate and isolate where this trauma or the feeling or the hurt or the upset or whatever it is, where it sits, and just acknowledge. So just locate it in your body now and isolate it. And if it's more than one place, that's fine. Just acknowledge where it is. So I'm going to do the code now. Higher self and healing team, please release and heal these traumas and their effects, including any dysfunction, discord, damage, and injury, whether it be physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual, in all levels, dimensions, and timeframes. Please action full repair frequencies, clear communication pathways, balance energy flows, and align and integrate all aspects of the physical and subtle body matrix to the cellular and subatomic levels. Thank you. Higher self, please release and heal these wounds and their associated grievances, losses, hurts, defenses, injustices, and prejudices, including breakthrough beliefs on holding on to bitterness and hate. Heal all levels of heartbreaks so that my heart is free. Kindle my knowing of loving kindness towards all sentient beings. And transform trauma into a trust in the unfolding process of life. May I dwell in the heart of the divine presence. May I know the deepest levels of peace. May I be held in the embrace of the beloved. And may I surrender completely into the joy of my own true nature. Higher self, please integrate these changes at all levels and dimensions in all time frames. I am now willing to remember the truth of who I am. Okay, so just take a deep breath. Okay, so we're going to shift now one negative belief that is coming up. So again, I want you to drop into your heart and just allow one negative self-talk coming up. A judgment around yourself. So typically the categories could be around self-judgment around yourself, as in, I'm not smart enough. Or it could be about other people, saying everyone are against me. Or it could be about life. So that life is hard or life is a struggle. It could be in relationships. And parents. So, or like the world. But try to see what kind of self-judgment is coming up about yourself. Something that you'll tell yourself kind of quietly, and that is not helpful, about your self-belief, how it makes you feel. So I just want you to locate that and kind of decide on one. So just decide on one negative belief or judgment about yourself. And I just want you to reflect how this belief impacts on your life. So what other areas in your life it has an impact. So for example, if I just choose this negative belief that I am not a strong healer enough that I had, it impacted me in a way that I was not strong enough to reach out and show myself. It played out in the sense that I hardly couldn't believe when people said I had amazing results, because I thought, well, how can they if what I do is not what I believe it is? So it affected, obviously, the work side of things. It also affected the way I was charging at the time. Sometimes even feeling bad for charging for services. So I just want you to kind of acknowledge what other area in your life it is affecting you. And then when you without judgment, just kind of acknowledge where what's happening. I want you again to feel where in the body it sits. So it could be, again, different areas of the body or just one place. So just locate the area again of the body and then isolate it. And again, I want you to pick the time frame now. So another number, 1 to 24. Can be the same, but it could be also another one. So whatever one you choose to just one. Good. I'm going to do command code. So higher self, please clear 100% the core issue, the original cause, the source of its power, any energy attached and all of its effects through all layers, levels and dimensions, right to the point of creation. Please balance, clear and align all energy fields to enable higher levels of truth and consciousness. Okay. So I'm going to speak out now the first part of this clearing code, and then I want you to repeat after me. And I'll tell you when that is. And what I want you to fill in the gap with is the negative belief. So, for example, in my case, this would be like this. So I just want you to know what to do when we get to that part. So I would say, I release all belief, perception, and judgment that I am not a good or strong healer enough. Okay, so yeah, so you just pick that, and what we're going to do is I'm going to read out now the first part, and then you're going to read out loud after me so that you own the statement and release it. Okay, so I'm going to do this first bit. Ask myself to please clear, balance, and heal all negative beliefs and programs through all levels, dimensions, realities, universes, and time frames. I lovingly let them go. For this entire group, everyone committing to this. Now, I want you to say after me, I release all belief, perception, and judgment that I, and now you fill in the gap. And then say after me again. I release all need and desire. Say it out loud. To believe that I, and you fill in the negative belief. Okay. And I have chosen a new belief for all of you, even the ones that are watching the replay. If you're watching this again and come up with a new belief that you think is better for you, you can use this. The one I've chosen is universal and will work brilliantly for everyone. But do feel free, if you're watching the replay, to choose another one that you feel is more suited. So again, I want you to say after me. And at the same time, if you can tap the small intestine 3, which is here on the hand. So you have a small intestine 3 pressure point there. It's called a karate chop. So if you can do this, it's even stronger. So we say, I now completely accept and believe. Say after me. And instruct my subconscious mind to accept and believe on every level of my being that I am enough and I am whole and I am complete and I am worthy because I exist. And you can even say it again. I am enough. I'm whole. I am complete. And I am worthy because I exist. And you can say it as many times as you like. I am enough. I am whole. I am complete. And I'm worthy because I exist. Very good. Okay, so looking for the pattern. Okay, so just keep taking some deep breaths and let this integrate. Okay, cool. So I'm going to do a vibrational essence to integrate all this. And yeah. Okay. So what I'm guided to choose is, it's quite interesting, it's a bay leaf flower essence, which is called bracken. And bracken helps with psychic sensitivity blocked from childhood, with consequent fear of coming up front to one's psychic potential. Okay, so this is good for your spirituality, basically, and good for your connection to your intuition. So healing team, please infuse this remedy of bracken at all levels of everyone in this group and everyone listening to the replay in their beings multidimensionally and for as long as it is needed. The highest and best good. Thank you. Okay. So I'm going to close the space, and I just want you to just connect with your body, just stay in meditative state, just relax, and then slowly come out of it. So I'm going to do that now quietly, and I'll let you just receive. Okay. So I'm going to let everyone sort of come around and come into the room again in your own time. Maybe have a drink. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes. So if you would like, I'd be really grateful if you wanted to do a little small sharing. And if you don't want to do that, that's fine. So yeah, I wonder who would like to start? Put your hand up. See if anyone wants to share. Okay, Jenny, share. Hi, Jenny.
Hey, I liked it, and I really could see lots of things that I just hold space for. And when you did the thing, the cleansing, I really could feel that it gets me into an not empty space, but a really sort of not. Yeah, it was awesome. It's really awesome. It's like I get into a cleared space. So that I really like that, and I could feel how not vanish, but it's like nothing was even there. So that was awesome.
Ah, cool.
Very, very awesome.
How do you
Yes.
feel now? Right now?
I feel light, and yeah, and I felt heavy when you first took a little pause, but I think you said you're gonna feel a little heavy, so stay there.
Yeah.
I really could feel that, so I smiled when I just understood that, and then I could feel how it lightens up.
Yeah, great.
Mm.
What about your body? Could you feel the things in your body like when they were
Yes.
moving? Yeah.
Yes, but that's so weird because I really didn't feel the shift so clearly, but suddenly it just wasn't there.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Normally, I can sometimes feel like, oh my God, now it's getting lighter, but I didn't even reflect on it. It just went lighter without any. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you. Really great. Really
That's
great.
right. We'll stay on till the end.
Yeah.
Listen to everyone's feedback. Anyone else that wants to share? Hand up. No? Go on, Taylor.
So when we started, I felt like I couldn't sleep the whole night just because I had the strong energy cord in between like my second and third chakra. So it felt like I was just kind of getting stabbed and like drained constantly. And so for the first time in like days, I'm feeling like some relief, like I can like breathe some like light into the space, because it's really crazy how like you can really feel your chakras like getting like stabbed. And
Maybe
so
we need to talk about this like in another setup, because that's kind of like maybe need to be addressed, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
How are you feeling right now?
there's still a lot to work through, but it feels less like a zombie, or like less like invasive.
Yeah. Okay, good. All right, thank you. And Victoria, yeah.
So that was interesting for me because I felt two specific things pop up, and I recently did a presentation for my business, and it was the first of that sort where I was actually speaking. And for whatever reason, that felt similar to when I was in high school. That was the memory that popped up. And it was, I was really naughty in school for quite some time. I used to believe I was very stupid. Come to find out, I learn very differently. I'm a spatial learner. So I don't learn audio or via reading, right? It's through doing that I learn. But later in my high school years, I actually really excelled. And because I was like straight D's and F's. And I excelled later on in school because a teacher believed in me. And I actually ran for student body president in my senior year. And that memory came up because we were supposed to present, but I never was told the date. So I didn't have anything prepared, but I was presenting in front of the entire student body. And it's weird to me that that came up because I don't think of that often. I don't really care about that, or I didn't think so. But that came up, and it was a similar feeling of this presentation of like, I really don't want to be here. I don't really feel confident. And just that nerve, those nerves, I felt that. And it was interesting because through the meditation, I felt my back pop a couple of times. And then I felt my legs went numb. They're actually still just waking up. So that seems like an indicator of sorts, like maybe I didn't have my own strength through my legs. Like my body seems to be telling me that, that, you know, finding your own power, your own strength, like essentially kind of like a tree having not weak legs, but strong legs, and maybe focusing on that. So
the heaviness in the legs as well is like the programming in the cells are like leaving the body. So you can feel really heavy. It's like the energy is like pushing the light frequencies that comes in through the session is pushing on the low frequency stuff. So that could also be the case. So as you come out of the session and it's shifting, it's leaving your cells because they're still working on you actually, you will be feeling fine, you know.
okay, cool. Thank you. That was really cool.
Did that make sense? Yeah, cool. Okay, thank you so much for sharing. Anyone else who would like to share? Andra, Birna. What about Janelle? Would you like to share? You don't have to share. No? Andra, no?
Okay, I will share.
Come on, because I'd like you sharing. Yeah.
The moments that comes in my mind were about my childhood. Actually, now I'm not thinking about that moment. I mean, it's not something that I'm thinking very often. But now at this point, I saw one moment of my childhood when I was feeling judged by a lot of children. So I feel that this was a very important moment for my growing. and
Yes.
it was affected
Yeah.
my growth. And when you did the healing, I saw like a mix of energy in front of my eyes, like two type of colors that were moving and mixing together.
Mm-hmm.
Now in my body, I feel, yes, I feel lighter, but I feel something heavy around my head. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's a blockage or something around here.
Okay. So maybe just things coming out like
Yes.
from your energy field still.
Mm-hmm.
You can all have the grids. What I do, actually, I'm going to put it here in the, you can copy the link, yeah? Let me just, sorry, I'm just going to get the link for the grids. What you can use is, you know the grids that you had in the beginning?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm going to get this here. The grids and the unified chakra will help to maybe clear some residue out that was coming out from the session. In the sense that you have, how does it feel, that block around your throat? Tell me more.
Now I feel here around my head a bit heavy, like
Okay.
something, maybe I should stay more, or maybe I had moment when I go in my mind and my soul, because I was distracted on the image.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't know when to open my eyes, when to close, and maybe I had some moment when I wasn't present in my soul.
Okay.
Maybe.
So just see how it goes. I've just put a link there for everyone to get you'll get the unified chakra and the clearing, the spinning grids. And then there is the bioenergy field clearing as well. But this is like my lead magnet, what I give people anyway. So you could have this, if you can copy the thing. I think, Taylor, you've got it already. Okay, so what I think for you, Andra, is just wait and see. Send me a message later if you can still feel this thing, because then I can just, like, we'll try to fix it, right? But let's see how it goes. Just let it shift and see how you feel. Maybe you can let me know tomorrow or something. Do you want to do that?
Maybe it was like I didn't want to let my old beliefs. Maybe it was like because I want to control everything in my
Well, yeah,
life.
the mind wants to control a lot, right? Yeah, yeah.
That was like a pushing not to let that old beliefs to go.
Okay, cool. Thank you. So I'm just going to check out here. Birna has sent me a message to say that it was a little bit hard to find the body, locate it in the body, and the energy work. So Birna, you can enjoy the meditation with the clearing. Please copy the link that I sent in the chat box. And for people that are watching the replay, I will put this on the video, on the YouTube video. Now, thank you, Janelle. She couldn't hear the meditation either. Okay, I'm so sorry, guys. Listen, the energy would have worked anyway, but obviously, if you didn't hear it, it's not as much fun. so please do enjoy it, taking the click here. Now, I wanted to share, if there was anyone else, I think we were finished with sharing, right? I think Verna's okay, Jen is okay. Yeah, we're going to continue into the wrapping up of this webinar. So I would like to say thank you so much for coming and, for really participating in this and taking that step and committing to yourself and your, shifting your blocks, basically. So I just wanted to share a little bit about my work, which is, yeah, you know what I do, but I would like to, to start sharing a little bit what could happen for you if you carried on in my world. So I'm going to share that now. I'm just going to find the right slide. So it will only take sort of 3 or 4 minutes, and I'm going to share again. There we go. So this one here. Okay. So, as always, oh no, that's from the beginning. Let's go here. Let me just find where it was. So, basically, I work with women like yourself, and my passion really is to help you free yourselves fully in whatever shape or form that looks like. So, you know, this is why I love doing my work so much. And I believe also as women that we're coming from not just culturally, but, you know, from a DNA and ancestral space, having to be so defined in the patriarchal world for so long. Something really is happening for women now, because we are modern women. We are, you know, we love our children, we love our families, we love our careers, we love so much. And, you know, in a sense, it's a hard path to walk sometimes, because we feel like we have to spread ourselves so thin everywhere. And I'm really, really passionate about helping women have it all. You can have it all. You can have your family. You can have your, you know, the joy. You can have the ease. It doesn't have to be hard. You can do your soul work. You can do everything that you ever dreamt of. It's absolutely possible. So that's why I'm sharing this with you guys. So I invite anyone here to do a call with me if you feel called to do a call, because you need to feel up for it. And in this call, we would talk together and discover your deepest dreams and desires, and whatever that would look like for you. Also, where you're at the moment. And sorry, that was that came in the wrong order. The current situation, of course, and what is standing in your way right now. That may be one thing or several things, or just a multiple of events that's happening for you right now, and then recommendations after that to move forward. So yeah, I invite you to do this if you feel called to do this, and this is for you. So I'm just kind of filtering out who it is for. Who is somebody who wants to continue clearing blocks and who wants to really commit to their spiritual and personal growth, and you want to find out your purpose. You're ready to deeply understand also why things are happening, and going, okay, I'm really happy to, you know, take charge of this, and I really want to understand what's happening in my life and my business and my, you know, my purpose and everything, and I'm so committed to make that work. And you're wanting obviously to clear the energy blocks and make your life happen in the way that you see it in your heart, because what you see in your heart you can have. But it feels so sometimes overwhelming to have that, because you think, oh my goodness, all these things are happening to me and I'm not sure how I'm going to make that work. And that's where I'm here to help. So if you may have already had some success, but you find that the progress is too slow, or it may feel like you are kind of like misaligned, and you want quicker, more rapid results. So that's another reason to come on the call. And I just want to share little case studies with you guys. And you may have seen some testimonial already, but I've worked with so many women over the last 20 years, more in the last 10, I'd say, because in the beginning I was a physical therapist, and I was doing a lot of massage and like Reiki healing, but more with the coaching and mentoring the last 10 years. And what I've learned actually is that we never really feel ready to do anything, because like the ego would say, oh no, don't go there, don't do this, because that's what the ego does. It makes us feel like we need to stay stuck. However, change comes from within. So just what Jenny said when she said, oh, I just wanted to come on this webinar today, something lighted up in her, and she went, oh, I need to go. So that is a good indication. If you feel lit up and you're like, oh yes, I want to go there, so that's a very good indication that your soul is speaking to you, or your intuition is speaking to you. Another thing I want to say is that transformation happens like step by step. It's it's not a journey of, you know, you don't need to be overwhelmed or anything like this. It's step by step, and enjoy the life you have, but also commit also at the same time to making it a better experience for yourself. So just step by step, layer by layer, things shift and happens for you. So it's not like, oh, let's fix this one thing now and then that I'm done, I can live now happily ever after. I would say, you know, just be noticed and be aware in your life what needs to change, and take action on it as it comes up. And it's easy to take action once action has been taken once. So if you've already started doing some self-development, you're like, yes, I'm in, you know, you're feeling like that this is I can do this, and I'm really enjoying it. So that's what I've discovered as well. And also being open to recognizing the patterns that keeps us, you know, from moving forward. Because if we pay attention and we have awareness, that's like the first stage of, you know, transforming your life. So, and then take some action, really. So, and having fun. So yeah, I love having fun. So I do this a lot with my clients. We have a great big laugh. Yeah. And it's okay if this is also not where you're at, of course, because everyone is not at this stage always. But if you want to, you can book the call. And if you're in full screen mode now, I'm going to put again the link for this call that you can book as well. You get it in the email also. And I also give to any clients that sign up with me at any time, there's always a 7-day grace period. So if you want to just have this sort of like cushion, that's always open also. And another thing I want to say, and this is actually truly how magical this work is that once people start shifting and things are happening within them and it's really moving for them, they see the results on the outside, and it will be things like a new life partner turns up, or, you know, more money, or a new opportunity, or just that right perfect person turns up for your speaking event you want to do, or something. I'm just whatever, or collaboration, or, you know, so results are just happening because you're shifting on the inside. So that's just like the magic with the work, and it seems to fall into place, which is really great. So I've worked with a lot of people. This is one of my clients, Luke. He came to me a few years now ago, but he is a public speaker trainer, and he's a spiritual public speaker trainer. And we were working together, and I suppose for him, everything that he felt in his heart were manifesting rapidly after we finished. So he has now got the speaking academy. He's got his successful business the way he saw it in his heart. And he said to me, it does feel like it happened because we were doing this inner deeper work. Now, another lady who she's been working with, basically she is a manifestor herself, but she feels so happy and so aligned every day that nothing seems to be in her way. And with that feeling, I suppose what she said to me is that she just feels like unstoppable in a way, because there's nothing in the way, and she can just manifest and rapidly make these things happen for herself in a much easier and graceful way. And then another lady who I've been working with for years, actually, but not 4 years, but I started a few years ago. She developed, from not believing that she was spiritual, she's now a healer, and she does some of the work that I do, and she's improved her relationship with her child a lot, being a single parent. So yeah, she's feeling really happy about having discovered her spiritual gifts fully after us working together. So yeah, I just wanted to share these mini case studies with you guys. So if you feel this way in any shape or form, come and speak to me. Now I'm going to stop sharing. There we go. Who else has said something here? Oh yeah, Sabrina is saying about the numbers actually, you know, the time frame. So yeah, the numbers are basically just different time frames. One could be like before birth, one could be alternate universe, one could be a past life, one could be a future life. So that's the time frames, the 1 to 24. Okay, so you couldn't hear the meditation so much. Okay, I'm not going to do that in the future. I'm just going to read it out, I think, and then instead of, you know, playing it out. But please do copy the link there. Oh yeah, Victoria's saying, please feel free to befriend her. Yeah, great. I'm going to copy the link also to the call if you feel called to book the call. And that's it for today. I was running over actually a little bit, but there we go. There's the call. All right, guys. So thank you so much for coming, and hopefully I'll see you another time. Sabrina said, don't see the link. I think the link is further up. Click. Oh. To all panelists. Can you see it now? I'm just going to make sure. All right. Now, there is the booking link to talk to me. And then the clearing link is here. There is the clearing link. Can you see it? Yeah? Cool. Thank you. And I'll see you another time. Sending you love. Have a wonderful evening, morning, wherever you are. And I'll see you another time. Thank you so much for coming. Bye.